guys, what's up? What's going on? So today we're going to be reviewing Basketball Wives. Let's do the shout outs from last week. I have Miss Gigi Jen who said Christian's crying was BS. She's the one that brought it up. Please. Okay, I see how you spelled it too. Like you wanted to emphasize the puh. And Patty Blue was like, pretty much responded to her. Or whoever, yeah, and was like, that's so true. Kirsten is such a phony. How she's such a good friends with Jennifer when she just met her and she knew CeCe much longer. I feel the exact same way. Like, I just feel like she's kind of like phony and she's trying to gain people's sympathy. She's trying to gain sympathy from her mom and from Malaysia and everybody else. And I just feel like they're kind of like eating the BS and accepting it, you know what I mean? Because they feel like she's such a sweet person. She's been kind of evil for like since the beginning. I feel like even when she first met OG, the way she was bullying her, you know what, or trying to bully her, I should say. She's just, I don't feel like she's a real good person. She's a real genuine person. And it's crazy because she seems like her face and stuff to me. She just seems like such a nice person when you first look at her and so innocent. But she's completely opposite to me of the way that she kind of looks, you know? So let's go ahead and get into the episode. Shaunie, she wants to do a trip to Amsterdam because Amsterdam's supposed to be like the mecca of like weed and the whole industry. And as you guys know, she's trying to really get into the weed business. Well, she's not trying to get into it. She's in the weed business. She's getting her permits and everything else that she has to get. And it's really about to be an official thing real soon. So she's like throwing herself into what she wants to do, and she wants it to be a success. So that's part of her plan, is to like go there, see what they're doing, and I guess kind of bring some of that stuff to America, because she says that they're way ahead of us as far as these things are concerned. They were one of the people that's been doing this for quite some time, as opposed to here in the US, it's like stuff like this is just barely becoming legal, and now people's able to capitalize off of it because, you know, the government wants to be able to make that money, you know what I mean? But that's a whole nother topic. So she invites her team. She also wants to invite some of the ladies. She doesn't, of course, want to bring Jennifer because, you know, right now her and Jennifer are not on good terms because she found out that Jennifer's a little snake, and she's trying to feel out who else she should kind of invite as well. She did go ahead and invite Jacki, and she asked Jacki like if she smokes weed, and Jacki's just like, no, because when I do, I'm weird. Like, she's already weird when she drinks. She's weird when she doesn't drink. So it's like, I can imagine her freaking on some type of freaking weed, being high as a kite, like just being wild and crazy, and no, we don't need that Jacki at all. And she was just like, okay, you know, we don't want that one. She did invite Tami, but Tami said that she's taking care of some stuff with Reggie. I feel like Tammy's probably going to end up going. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like the issues that she was so worried about were resolved in this particular episode, so I don't see any reason as to why she now would not be able to go unless she has other things already booked, you know? So anyways, like I said, she invites Tami. Tami's not going. She invites Evelyn, and Evelyn, it seems like she does want to go. She is annoyed because she found out that CeCe, well, OG's supposed to be coming through, and also CeCe is coming through. She's not really too fond of CeCe, and here goes another part of the messiness that we were talking about, because she says that Kirsten told her that CeCe was talking about their jobs or lack of them having jobs and their professions because she's a nurse and things like that. That's not really how the conversation went down. And I do feel like if these people are your new friends, and I don't know how you call people your friends so quickly and so easily. I feel like people use the term very loosely nowadays. Like for me, when I was younger, maybe a teenager, I would call everybody my friends. But like now, I hold friends to a higher standard. And some people are just like your associates. Some people are just people you're cool with, or you know. Just because you know someone or you met them a few times does not necessarily mean they're your friend. I'm pretty sure that CeCe, you know, even though she's more like family, I would say that she would be more considered a friend than any of those other ladies to her. If she was in a real tough jam, I'm pretty sure that CeCe would help her over any of these people. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but it just seems like it, you know? But back to the topic at hand. So she's upset about that and about the fact that you know, she was told this information. And like I said, it's just messed up that Kirsten would go run back and tell these people that she calls her friends a conversation that they were not a part of, you know? I mean, yes, eventually they would see it on TV or whatever, but that wasn't something that she needed to go back and tell them. If you felt a certain way, like, oh, I'm not a working mother either, or whatever, I stay at home, she's talking about all of us, then maybe you should have spoken to her about it at that time. What you basically told her to do was to tell them that, but you didn't even give her the opportunity to tell them that. You told them that. So, yeah, I'm just not with it. So Shaunie did let Evelyn know that Jennifer is definitely not invited. And of course, Evelyn wants her to go. She's trying to pitch for her, but Shaunie's pretty clear on that. Kirsten talks to her mother about the whole CeCe situation and how she feels like she needs to speak to her, and she just kind of feels, her and her mother pretty much saying like, oh, well, CeCe feels like she knows your triggers and she knows that you're not really going to do anything, so that could be possibly the reason why she's doing what she's doing. Like mother, like daughter. Or maybe it's because of what she's seeing. I feel like if her mother's eyes are really open and she actually sees these episodes or these episodes that have passed, she would more so realize that it's Kirsten that's in the wrong with all this. And she does say that she wants to try to, she didn't really say necessarily to resolve this, but she wants to at least make sure that her husband and his father are good. So that's at least the goal there, I suppose. Tami speaks to Reggie about like their future and about them getting married and things like that, and how she feels, because we know she kind of reveals how she felt and about the whole kid situation and how she doesn't want resentment in a couple years, and just how I guess she likes things the way they are because she's kind of scared about moving forward, and I guess him leaving her and having a messy divorce and all those things. I think that it's the fear of that that's caused. I guess it'll be easier to walk away if there's no paperwork involved, there's no prenup, there's no all that stuff to think about. It's just, okay, we're gonna split amicably and that's about it. So that's kind of, I feel like, where she is right now, and she does let him know that. He did seem like he was taken a bit aback, like he wasn't prepared for that. But I feel like he did a good job at kind of keeping calm and allowing her to speak and not really like blowing up or anything like that. She did mention that she doesn't know if she's going to want to have kids. And, you know, that was something for him to, I guess, kind of take into consideration once again. So he just kind of walked away without really saying too much as far as what we saw. And they kind of left it at there. And she did mention later on in the episode that from that moment they hadn't spoken in some time. Tami in Malaysia, they talk about the whole PSA that we saw last week about gun violence, well, not necessarily gun violence, but police violence and police brutality of African-American people, black people, you know, and how Jennifer was just kind of poking at the beast and just trying to get Tami to get crazy. And she's like, you know, it's crazy how I told you, like, yo, she said she got maced, and you like, I don't give a fuck. But then you like, hold up, wait a minute, like, I need my eyes, you know. And I feel like I've done that in arguments before. Like, I listen to people a lot of times when I'm in an argument, but I feel like when I'm so filled up with adrenaline, I do the stupidest shit. But I've gotten a lot better over time. I still have it in me because I've seen it come out not too long ago, but I feel like I've controlled it a lot better than I used to. Because before it would be like, somebody be like, yo, come outside, me and my dumb self, it'd be like 100 people outside, I'm coming out like, what's good? Like, who am I gonna battle? Like, I'm 4'11", but in my head, it's like, yo, you gotta show them that you ain't scared of nobody. You gonna do what you gotta do. And I've done this like more than once in the past, like an idiot. So I just kind of look back at those moments like, what was I thinking? You know, but it's like I was just so filled up with adrenaline that I'm just like, you know what, I'm ready. Like, I don't even care. Don't tell me nothing. Like, let's just do what we gotta do. So that kind of reminded me of that when I saw that. Zell was there too, but he's like, I don't know. To me, he just irks the crap out of me. He's just like, dude, like, just go somewhere. Like, you trying way too hard to be on Basketball Wives, like to be a cast member. You're not gonna get a basketball and be, I'm thinking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, a peach. You're not gonna get a basketball or whatever and be in the credits, so just get out of here with all that. Like, I don't even know why they allowed him to be on that. Like, did you see what he did on the other show? Like, he did, like, sucker punch somebody in their face or sucker slapped or whatever the hell he did. Like, that was not cool. Like, he lost mad respect and he was irritating on freaking Love and Hip Hop anyway. So he was just, I'm not even gonna, moving on. Malaysia was talking about how she donated like clothes and things like that to people that are in need, and she kind of did it in a way that people wouldn't feel any type of way. Like, they more so feel like they're shopping without having to pay for anything. Just kind of getting everything dry clean, putting it up on hangers, and just kind of making a really good presentation out of it. And I think that doing it that way is it makes people feel a lot better about themselves, and it just makes you a lot happier. And it doesn't make you kind of look at your situation for what it is. It's just kind of, it's a little different experience. And even just like looking at it when they eventually did show it going down. So she does say she wants to do the event, like more so like an event with all the ladies to help her out. She didn't invite quite a few of them because she just felt like, you know, her cousins, they're not really good right now. She doesn't want that negative energy. She didn't want Jennifer to come in either. So she invited like mostly everybody else. And they brought stuff, which was good. Tami did reveal at that particular event that she was homeless when she was 15 years old because her mom lost her job. And it was definitely a change for her. And I guess it kind of humbled her and made her the person that she is. And she was saying, you know, when you're privy to a certain way of life, a lot of times it's not until you lose everything that you change the way you look at things. And I definitely feel like, I can't necessarily, I've been homeless, but not for a long amount of time. When I moved with my mom, eventually when I was a teenager, late teens, she has a gambling problem, so she actually used the rent money as she did, like, all the time, like, every month. And we ended up having to stay at, her boyfriend's family's house, which it was something I wasn't used to at all, because when I lived with my Aunt Liz, who had adopted me, we never went through anything like that. So this was, like, just seeing somebody be so irresponsible, it was hard for me. But it was definitely an eye-opener, and it just kind of shows you how you can kind of lose everything. And I think seeing the way she was just made me more so the responsible person that I try to be today, to never have to have my child go through that. So it definitely was not a good feeling or something that you want to experience. Yeah, it just makes me strive and work harder for everything. So Zell, OG comes through, and she comes through with nothing. And to be honest, even though, like I said, I'm not really too fond of Zell, he made a good point, because he was just like, why come? If you didn't even bring anything, like, what was the point? You know, like, and that's the same thing I said. As soon as she's like, I forgot the stuff. It's like, so why are you here? You know, it's not like we need your moral support or anything like that. It's like, you came, but to do what? You know, maybe she helped to hang stuff. I don't know. But they didn't really show any of that on the show. It just looked like she was just there. So Zell is like, then he started to irritate me again because he's just like, all right, so let's have all the people that donated come together. And yeah, just the people that donated though. Like he said it like 4 or 5 times. Like he was dead trying to like shade her and let her know. I mean, you let people know once and that's it. But I felt like he kept on like throwing it. And I'm pretty sure he probably did it even more times off camera. And he just was like, oh, can you take the picture for us? Because we only want the people that donated in this picture. Like, all right, dude. Like, I would have straight up been like, all right, dude. Like, we get the point. You don't have to keep on saying it over and over again. I understand. I messed. You know, like, I hate when people do things. The boo thing. When they try to do things indirectly. But it's like, I know it's about me. We all know it's about me. But you're trying to make it seem like you're making a general statement. Like, nah, say my name, say what you gotta say, and let me say what I have to say. You know what I mean? Like, I've done that at work. I remember when I worked at the office and I messed up on something. The boss tried to say, like, oh, you know, we have to make sure that we don't do this. I was like, okay, so we all know that I'm the one who did it. I was like, all right, I understand. We spoke about this, so let's move on. You know, it was just like, I can't sit, like, I get so much anxiety when people do stuff like that I'll just, like, snitch on myself. I don't care who didn't know. You're going to know now. We're going to talk about this and let's get it over with and move on, you know? Following that, Jennifer and Evelyn, they talked about like the trip and the fact that Jennifer's not invited and how she wants her to go so that she can kind of clear her name, and especially because Tami's not going to be there. And yeah, that's kind of what that was. They was like at the spa or whatever. So Jacki, Kirsten, and CeCe, they talk about just kind of the two of them, CeCe and Kirsten, kind of trying to rectify the situation before they go to Amsterdam to kind of clear things up. CeCe says that there may be some underlying issues. She might just be feeling some type of way because when Kirsten was pregnant, nobody knew that she was pregnant, and she ended up having the baby, and Byron and her were off in another country on vacation, so they missed the delivery. She said, you know, it was a beautiful thing and everything, but they missed it. And she feels like she kind of holds her responsible for that in some ways. I feel like that was kind of left field. I doubt that has anything to do with anything. I just feel like, But Jacki also revealed that, you know, her and Byron are not even married. I didn't know that. For some reason, I thought that they were. I thought that she was like the new wife. But I guess I must have missed this part, or maybe it just didn't really come up to that capacity. Or it was just put out there the way it was put out there. It was kind of like up for assumption. I don't know. Maybe I just missed it. But, yeah, she was saying how she was with him for 4 years. And she was like, regardless of you having the ring or not, you're still, you know, that person in his life. And, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, Reggie and Tami, they ended up having a nice little date, and, you know, he tells her that she kind of messed his head up because he was in a certain headspace or whatever, and after they had that conversation and after listening, but he says he was kind of thinking of his next move, but he's kind of good where he's at, and if this is what she wants, he's willing to kind of compromise and go along with it. He's not really wanting things to be this way necessarily, but he cares about her so much and he loves her so much, and he's kind of willing to work with her. So I think that that's sweet. And, you know, I feel like she's trying to avoid resentment, she says, but I feel like by not giving this man anything that he wants, I mean, you may not be able to do the kid thing, all right, but you're not even trying to marry him either, and he kind of seems like that's something that he wants to move on to as a next step, and it's like, damn, like, you just keeping him, you know, there, and that's it, you know? So, I don't know. But I mean, it depends on him too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's easier for him. But he seems like a romantic type of guy. You know, he seems like he's trying to do right by her. And it's almost like she's like so caught up in her past that she's not allowing him to really be her future, you know? But that's pretty much the episodes, you guys. Let me know what you thought about it down below. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. Don't forget to subscribe. And also check out my other channel, Samore Love TV, and subscribe. Alright, y'all. Laters.